What's happening, sports fans? Got another great top recruit to talk to, Destinee Noury, or she's got a lot of pronunciations of it. But one thing you need to know is that she is going to be representing San Diego at the Ohio State University. Had to stick the in front of that next year to play softball. So congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us. And let's start right there with why Ohio State.
Oh gosh. I mean, my recruiting process was really hectic. Honestly, it's pretty crazy because I was such a top recruited athlete since the 6th grade. So, I mean, I was doing visits and everything from like 6th and 7th grade. Like, I mean, it's crazy. And I had committed in the 8th grade, but time goes on, injuries happen, and I did have a couple of injuries, but I was kind of surprised at first going to Ohio. I didn't really know what to expect. Yeah, honestly, when I got off the plane, I was kind of surprised, and I think even my dad knew. He was like, "I think she's really gonna love it," because I didn't know what to expect at all going back into the recruiting process. And so the coaches were awesome. I mean, it's an awesome like facility, campus, everything there. It's just so amazing. It's funny. The minute we got there, we toured the football facilities. So that was
I think with a lot of those big universities, that's the flex is
yeah,
just, hey, look at this, and like
for
kind of do a
sure.
little song and dance of sort of distract you
Yeah.
from what your sports
Oh
reality
yeah,
is.
they roll out the whole red carpet.
Yes.
So
No.
it's
Well.
pretty
Well.
awesome.
I mean, you have a photo on Instagram of you holding up the
Yeah.
gloves in a sport where if you're holding a bat, nobody sees the inside of the glove. So yeah, that's a football thing, and they're trying to
Yeah.
sell. Yeah, exactly. So you go on the recruitment trip, and was it just kind of like that immediate? This is home. This fits right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. I wasn't expecting it at all either.
So it went from not,
So,
so you were going there not necessarily with the mindset of, oh, I'm already pretty much sealed. This is where I want to
right.
go. It
Right.
flipped it right there on the spot for you.
100%. The minute I stepped on campus. Yeah.
Now, it's a school that we've talked about the football program, and it's decently steeped in just, it seems like everybody cares about all aspects of Ohio State. It's
Mhm.
more or less the pro team of that area. So,
Right.
talk to us a little bit about just what it was like or what you're hoping it'll be like to be around that kind of atmosphere, because that's got to be pretty exciting.
I'm pretty nervous for it only because it's such a big change from, San Diego from California. But it's awesome though because that's like, to us we have the Padres and we have the Dodgers and everything out here in California, but like out there it's all Ohio. So I mean, it's funny too because like sometimes my coaches have told me that they're like in the airport or they're at the store and somebody just yells out like OH, and then like out of nowhere people will just be yelling
IO.
out yeah. So I'm really excited for it. I think it's gonna be different, a culture shock out there, but I'm excited for it.
I'm excited just for the visual of us getting to see you like on a parade float after winning a national
Yeah.
championship in a couple years, where like the
I
whole state of
know.
Ohio turns out, and you're up there. We're like, hey, we knew her win. You mentioned the recruiting process being long for you, and that it was something that had started since middle school, and so it's travel ball and it's high school ball and it's all sorts of
Yeah.
different layers to it. What would be some maybe advice that you would give to other athletes who are younger right now about just how to stay calm and how to manage, being also just in high school and having a life through
Yeah.
all that process?
I think the biggest advice would be not to worry so much. I think, if a school loves you, they love you regardless of the error that you made in that one game, or if you're just not having a good day, or if you go out and you completely ball out. Like it doesn't matter. If the school loves you, you learn, like as I get older, I've learned that those coaches love you for who you are rather than just a player. Like they truly care about you, your family, and everything like that. And I think everything happens for a reason. So I think the biggest advice overall would just be to just trust the process 100%.
Now, you are one of several current seniors on Mater Dei Catholic that is going on to the next
Yeah.
level. And over the last 3 years, we've seen basically, I mean, you name it. If you picked a random Power Five school out of a hat, you'd probably have a chance that there's a Mater Dei softball player there, like
Right.
dominating at
Yeah.
the college level right now. What has that been like being around that environment the last couple of years?
It's awesome, honestly, because I think obviously for travel ball and softball, a lot of the higher, intensity and groups up there are all up in LA in North County. So a lot of them explain how their high school season is kind of like a break for them, where they're not being pushed hardcore, all that stuff. But at Mater Dei, it's like it's awesome. You're never taking a break, so you don't take any steps back. You keep going forward.
Well, and it sort of seems like you guys almost can lay claim to being the premier team at Mater Dei the last couple of years. I know the baseball or the
Yeah.
basketball team has been in the open division conversation. I want to say you had not even started your freshman year when CJ Verdell and that team won football state. That might have been your freshman
Um,
year. Time doesn't make sense to me
that was
anymore.
my freshman
Oh,
year.
that was your
Yeah.
freshman year? Okay. So
Yeah.
you were there for a brief second of the football team being
Yeah.
historically good, but over the last couple of years, you guys have basically been the de facto best team on campus.
Yeah, I think we're actually the first team in Mater Dei history and like Marion history to win an open division CIF championship.
Well versed there to throw
Yeah.
the Marion thing in there, although kind of an asterisk because Marion didn't exist when there was open division. But
Right.
I like the effort at making it sort of sound like first open division championship in two schools' history.
Yep.
Obviously, it's that kind of competitive nature that got you to where you are in life now. So
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna tell me that you've been hitting off the tee and that you've been doing conditioning. Please get rid of all the cliche answers. When I ask you what have you been up to through the eyes of your downtime, what have you been doing?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you named it all right now. I've really just
No
been
way. No, no,
doing
no, no,
all
no.
that
You cannot
stuff,
hit on the
but
tee and run 24 hours a day. You have to do something. There has to be something that you do for fun over the last 2 months of being
um,
stuck at home.
I mean, I've been sleeping a lot. Lots of sleep. I've just learned how to sew.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what I'm
I
saying.
learned how to sew.
Why and how and what have you sewn?
So my grandparents live right next to us. They live right next door, so our backyards actually connect. It's pretty cool. And my grandma's been making masks. So this was a while back, probably when quarantine had just started. I asked her like, I want to make them with you. So she taught me how to sew. So I've been making masks with her.
Dope. Can you please
Yeah.
show us one that you have made?
I don't have one right now, but I mean, we have a bunch of different ones. So
Fair enough. Can you send us a photo after the interview so I can put it up at this
yeah,
part of
for
the interview
sure.
and we can let everybody see? Because I feel like sewing, low key, like one of those hugely underrated skills. Because I
Yeah.
mean, I pop buttons off of shirts and I'm just like, do I throw this shirt away now? What do I do now? And I'm like this, just like this uncultured caveman. Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, what are you doing? I mean, I know that's probably the basics of it, but you're like, yeah, now I have this dope skill for the rest of my life.
It's funny though because I kind of knew a little bit how to sew, like just with the needle and stuff before, and like there'd be times that like when I'm traveling a lot, because with my travel team we're gone all summer long. So like if a stirrup rips, somebody's like, Des, come over here, like I need your help. So I'll just go and sew up their like stirrup that's about to break off.
Dope. I'm sure that
Yeah.
that probably was actually what pushed it over the line for Ohio State
Yeah.
wanting you. They're like, oh, good, we can recruit her to play, but she can also fix the uniforms on the road trips. We'll save money. Don't say that they don't do their homework on their athletes. You mentioned sleeping more. I think that everybody's universally finding out that high school is exhausting and stupidly like
Oh yeah.
time draining. So you're getting ready for college already in this sense, but you know, if you were a junior right now and hypothetically coming back to high school next year, if I asked you go back entirely to the way it was,
Mhm.
stick with how it is now, or do something where maybe you come in for like 2 hours a day and then you have a couple classes at home, like how do you, if you had one more year of high school and you had all those kinds of options, what would you want to do? What do you think is the best actual version that high school kids would actually enjoy?
Um, well, honestly, before quarantine, every Friday we would have a late start. So we would start at 9:15 and then we would do three classes because we're on a block schedule.
Okay.
So we would do just separate classes, but every Friday, I think that would be like the best way to do it, to have a late start because it's tough to get up, especially during quarantine. It's tough to have an 8 a.m. class when I've been up since when I go to sleep at like 2 a.m. because I can't sleep because I take naps all day.
And you're stuck
So
on TikTok scrolling endlessly
yeah, all
up
the
and down
time,
TikTok.
all
Yes.
the time.
That
But yeah,
has,
I think a later start would be helpful.
I mean, there's no right answer, no wrong answer. I just think I think a
Right.
lot of people are realizing that it's not quite that healthy to be up at 7 every
Oh,
morning and
yeah.
then up till 5 doing sports and then grinding at home with homework if
Oh,
there's
yeah.
ways to pick and choose how to
It's
fix all of
tough.
that.
I
It,
think that's actually one thing that I'm grateful for being at Mater Dei while being a student athlete. It's that like with the softball team, we go from 6 a.m. workouts to school all day to practice from 3:30 to 6. and it's just like it's nonstop. Getting home at 7, starting all over. It's really tiring, but at the same time, I do appreciate that because I know that's what it's going to be like in college. It's going to be even more tough.
I'll throw this caveat in there from my personal experience is that it is a lot of work, but the schedule is worked in pretty nicely
Yeah.
to not necessarily be super, super ridiculous. Like the
Mhm.
college classes tend to be 3 days a week for less time or 2 days a week for a ton of time. And it you have more fun doing that than the rigid
Yeah.
first through sixth period every single day. What are you going to miss about high school, though? What are you going to? You didn't get that closure. There's no graduation. There's no prom. There's all kind of stuff. So, kind of an open-ended question. But what do you think you'll miss about your time at Mater Dei?
Um, that's tough.
And
I
you're
mean,
welcome to say nothing. If you hated it and you hated everybody, we've had one
no.
kid come on and say, "I didn't like anybody, and this has been great." So, any answer is welcome.
No, that's tough. I mean, I'm definitely gonna miss the softball team and my coaches. I'm really upset that we didn't get to finish our season because we started pretty strong, and I think we could have gone back to back, honestly. But that's one thing that I that's like been hitting me kind of hard.
Well,
But
okay,
I mean,
okay,
all
wait.
my friends that I've made too.
Then
Yeah.
let me ask you a question. You mentioned the going back to back. Obviously, the championships have not been played, but they would have been happening right around this time. We're in the full
Right.
swing of playoffs. So let me just go ahead and ask you because you have the platform right now and nobody
Mhm.
to counter the argument. Would you like to go ahead and declare Mater Dei Catholic the 2020 Girls Open Division Softball Champions?
100% for sure.
Boom! There you go, folks. I we'll get in touch with CIF and we'll let them know that just happened, so that they
Awesome.
can send the banner your ways.
Yeah,
Probably going
for
to design
sure.
a smaller ring this year, a couple less games involved in it. But hey, go ahead, congratulations, back-to-back champs. That's awesome. Please. Include that in your resume at
I
Ohio
will.
State. 2 times
Back to
CIF.
back
Yes,
national.
please.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I like no lie. We have to follow up and see your bio page when that gets installed. I really hope you go ahead and just tell them that because there is no way to disprove it. There's no way to prove
It's
it, but there's no way to
it's
disprove it.
crazy though. I mean, they had us, I think so far I've already done like 2 bios. Um, but it's crazy. Even the stuff that I have on there now, it's like 3-time, national championship, like 2-time runner up, 1 national championship winner, back to back to back. And then I go to high school and it's like CIF championship, Mesa League, all this stuff. So it's
Oh, I didn't.
crazy, but
Yeah, go ahead and consider
I'm just gonna
yourself
add
all
it. I don't
league,
think they'll
all
even realize.
CIF. Yeah,
Yeah.
do all of it. Throw in another sport. To say that you would have done track this year and you were also just go ahead, build up the resume.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna doubt you based off of how hard it seems like you've worked through all of this. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your time with us, even between naps. I hope you enjoy the next
Yeah.
nap as much as you did the last one. This is the part of the interview where we ask everybody, please stay at least 6 feet away from Destinee, but give her a round of applause, a tip of the cap, some sort of celebration that she is going to be representing all of us at the next level because all the hard work she has put in through all of these years. Thank you so much for being on with us. Go Buckeyes. Congratulations.
Yes, go Bucks.
Everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors, and stay supporting all of your local high school sports athletes. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later.